Hello, I'm Claire Smith and I'm a scientist, and today I'm going to tell you about some really weird and wacky studies that people have done to try to uncover the fragrance notes that make women more attractive to men. So if you want to know what those fragrance notes are and what those studies said, then please keep watching. So hello, if you like this kind of content, please press the like button and please also consider subscribing if you haven't done already. Yeah, as I said, I'm a scientist in my day job and my background is medical science, and I've looked into some of these studies. So before we start this video, I'm just going to put in a few disclaimers because, I've got to protect my reputation as an eminent scientist, whatever. So the first disclaimer is, sadly, these studies are mainly based on heterosexual relationships. So I apologise to anyone out there who feels excluded. I'm obviously not meaning to do that. It's just science is lagging way behind the times. The second thing I want to say is whether these scent notes make you more attractive or not to men, it doesn't matter. The truth is you may just wear a fragrance for you, and that is perfectly fine, and that is really honestly the best reason to wear a fragrance. You should always wear what you enjoy, because if you are happier, you will be more attractive to other people anyway. Also, some men just love the scent of you. Sometimes you, unperfumed, is the sexiest scent of all. The third disclaimer is that this is meant to be just a fun video. And I would say the science surrounding some of these studies is rather flimsy. These studies often are based on small sample sizes, they sometimes don't have adequate controls, and they sometimes lack replication, so other people haven't done the same kind of study and found the same result. So given all of those caveats, let's start with the first fragrance note. So the first fragrance note is rose. So in 2014, a study asked men to rate women's facial attractiveness while sniffing either rose oil or fish oil. When participants sniffed the rose oil, they rated women's faces as over 10% more attractive than when they smelt the fish oil. A 2015 study also found that rose oil can be a powerful sexual stimulant for men on particular antidepressants. Rose oil is also a natural relaxant and so can help with lowering inhibitions. So if you want a rose fragrance, which one should you get? Well, considering these studies use rose oil rather than rose perfumes, I would probably go for one with a stronger rose note. So something like Lush Rose Jam or perhaps Eau Rose by Diptyque. So the second fragrance note is Lily of the Valley. Another study found that Lily of the Valley was the most preferred floral fragrance note by men. Interestingly, there may be something in this because an aroma chemical within Lily of the Valley called bourgeonal can also be sensed by sperm. So it kind of makes sense for men's detection of this note to be enhanced. In actual fact, bourgeonal is one of the very few aroma chemicals that men can sense more strongly than women. In general, men have a much poorer sense of smell than women. Other studies have found that Lily of the Valley can be mood boosting and can reduce feelings of apathy. So if you want to try a Lily of the Valley fragrance, which one should you go for? Well, the classic, of course, is Dior's Diorissimo, or you could try a much cheaper fragrance, such as Yardley's Lily of the Valley. So the third fragrance note that will make women more attractive to men is musk. And it seems like most people love musk. It's skin-like, it's sensuous, and it's just a little bit carnal. And I recently did a video all about musk, so I'm not going to dwell here. You can watch the video if you want to. But musk definitely will be on this list. So if you want a musk fragrance, which ones should you try? Well, you could try Kilian's Rolling in Love, or you could try Glossier You. So the fourth fragrance note is jasmine. So why is jasmine so sensual? Well, because it contains indoles. And indoles are something we naturally produce in our naughty regions. And that's why men find it so sexy, basically, because, it's just triggering something in the brain saying down there. So if you want to try a fragrance with jasmine in it, there are probably many to choose from because jasmine is one of the most used fragrance notes. In fact, a 2015 study found that jasmine aroma chemicals were in almost all of the best-selling women's perfumes. But which would I suggest? Well, you can't suggest a jasmine fragrance without suggesting Alien by Mugler, but I would also suggest Gucci Bloom and Flowerhead by Byredo. So the fourth fragrance note is vanilla. Vanilla is something that is universally liked around the world. Studies have shown that people are just triggered by vanilla. There's something that people just can't get enough of with vanilla. The smell and flavour of vanilla is believed to increase feelings of lust, And studies have shown that vanilla can raise levels of adrenaline in blood. Also, a study in rats found that vanilla had aphrodisiac properties. And vanilla just has that feel-good association, that nostalgic association with cakes and good sweet treats as a child. I think that's something that stays with you. So you are just going to smell delicious if you wear a vanilla perfume. So which vanilla perfumes would I suggest that you try out? Well, I really love Want by D Squared, and I think that a lot of people love Vanilla 28 by Kayali. The fifth fragrance note is pink grapefruit. So studies have shown that women who wear fragrances that smell of pink grapefruit are perceived as up to 6 years younger than women not wearing fragrance. Grapefruit is just a really zingy citrus note, isn't it? It's really uplifting, and I think that's probably why people are perceived as younger. So if you want to check out a grapefruit fragrance, which one should you try? Well, I personally love the pink grapefruit range from the Body Shop. I think you can't really beat that. I love the soap of that fragrance. I used to have that all the time. But you can also check out Chance au Tendre and also Un Jardin sous le Nil by Hermès. So the final thing I'm going to talk about is quite a big study, and this was done by our old friend Alan Hirsch. So if you've watched my What Does Your Fragrance Say About You video, you will know who Alan Hirsch is. So Alan has very, let's say, intriguing research methods, but you know, he does studies that nobody else would do. So we're just going to look at his study. So he took a load of men and he wired them up to machines to monitor their penile blood flow. He then made them sniff loads of different fragrances and measured the increase in their penile blood flow when they were sniffing all these different fragrance notes. And he found that basically men sniffing anything whilst wired up to these machines increased penile blood flow. Literally any scent compared to controls increased penile blood flow. But he found that particular fragrance notes increased penile blood flow a lot more than others. So he tested both singular notes and also notes in combination. And he selected these fragrance notes based on ones that men had previously rated as positive. Of the single notes, which one was rated the highest? Well, actually, surprisingly, the scent of fresh oranges was the one that increased penile blood flow the most, and that increased penile blood flow by 19.5%. So I'm saying no more. If you want an orange fragrance, which one should you choose? Well, I would go for Atelier Cologne's Orange Sanguine or Guerlain's Orange Soleil. Notably, from the same study, Lily of the Valley was rated as the highest rated floral note. So that's yet another reason to go out and buy Dior's Diorissimo. But that only increased penile blood flow by 11%. Strangely, it was combinations of notes that seemed to increase penile blood flow the most. And weirdly, the highest rated combination of notes was lavender and pumpkin pie. This increased penile blood flow by a massive 40%. Honestly, I can't think of a fragrance that has those two notes in it. It's just too weird a combination. But, you know, maybe you can work out some layering. Maybe there's a Bath & Body Works body spray out there. I mean, there's a Bath & Body Works body spray for everything, isn't there? So I'm sure there's one for that. So since I can't figure that one out, let's go for the second rated combination. So the second rated combination was licorice and donuts. Men clearly like sweet notes. So that increased penile blood flow by 31.5% and is still a reasonably weird combination. So I think that's going to require some fragrance layering. So I'd probably pick something like Diesel's Loverdose or perhaps Lolita Lempicka's original fragrance. And strangely enough, I did find a donut perfume. So the only one that I found was Jelly Donut by Wicked Good. So that's a combination that you could potentially use. So on that weird note, I'm going to end this video. So if you've liked this video, please like the video, and also please consider subscribing if you haven't done already. And please let me know which fragrance notes make you feel most attractive. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.